We acknowledge and pay our respects to the Boon Wurrung and Woi Wurrung Wurundjeri peoples of the Kulin Nation people, the traditional custodians of the land on which we are virtually gathered today. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and acknowledge all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders here today.
We are just another fire that burned out. At least it happened before we engulfed the town. 'Cause our reach was higher than we wanted it to be. Now all our dreams are just up and away. I've never been happier.
Good day, Melbourne and Wanaka. Ohayo gozaimasu, Osaka. Good afternoon, New York. Buonasera in Lax. Everybody, welcome to Talent Punk Season 2. Today, we are celebrating youth and life with 4 amazing young humans. F. Scott Fitzgerald said, youth is a dream, a form of chemical madness. Well, let's check it out. Brandi, Tsukki, Zedyn, Valentino, welcome and thank you so much for being part of the show today. How is everybody? Are you good? I think some of you are on mute, but that's okay. I think you say thumbs up, so all good, yeah? Cool. We're gonna start today with a power mover, or what we call a power mover, a breakdancer called Tsukki from Japan. Tsukki, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Excellent. I've got someone to help us. Her name is Hitomi. So thank you, Hitomi, for being here today. Just in case our conversation gets a bit too complicated and we kind of misunderstanding each other. Is that okay?
Yep, I will help you.
Cool. So what I would like to start, Tsukki, is for you to tell us a bit about you, a bit about your life in Japan, in Osaka, and just a bit about your childhood, if that's okay.
あなたのことについて知りたいので、はい、大阪についてとか少し話してもらえますかって。
はい。I'm BBoy Tsukki. I live in Osaka. I'm 14 years old. And I do in breakdancing.
Yeah. So when did you start breakdancing?
I started dancing 7 years old.
7 years old. So yeah. That's been 7 years now. Why breakdancing? Why not something else?
Well, my brother started dancing first. And after seeing his brother dancing, yeah, I also went to dancing and started going to the dance school.
Okay, so that your brother do break dancing, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Is he good?
Yeah, he's good too.
Yeah, he's good too. So are you better than him or is he better than you?
Or what do you mean?
どっちの方がお兄ちゃんと自分とどっちの方が上手ですかって。
As I say.
Same.
Yes.
The same?
level.
Okay. And tell us a bit about your training and your routine. So as I understand, you're going to school, so that's why
yeah. And 4 p.m. I come back to the home. 4:30 started dancing practice and 6:30 finish a practice and eat and rest, and 8 p.m. Start dancing and 12 p.m. finish a dancing and go to the and shower or something and going to sleep, and 7 a.m. wake up and go to school is my routine, like this one.
Wow. And that's 5 days a week? Or more? Do you do 5, 6 days or 7 days a week?
Everyday practice.
Everyday practice. So on weekend, do you practice? What are your time of practice on weekend?
週末はどんな感じの日程になってますかって、今のは多分学校のある時の日程だったと思うので。
9 a.m. wake up and 10 a.m. start dancing and 12 finish and eat and rest and 2 p.m. to 4 and last 30 minutes and 4:30 start dancing and 6:30 and rest and eat and 8 to 12 and practice and going to sleep like this one.
Wow. Well, I'm impressed because training is hard, and school and the training until midnight. So that's long hours. What motivates you? What keeps you going?
モチベーションですか？
そうですね。どういうふうにモチベーションを頼んで続けていけてるのか？
Or I'm working very hard now for the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Because for people who don't know, so breakdancing is going to be one of the new discipline in the Paris Olympic in 2024. It's the first time. And so are you going to be, or are you in the Japanese team right now, or are you training to be in the Japanese team?
大丈夫です。続けてください。
My team, I have in Korea.
Yeah, in Korea.
MB crew and like Asian crew. Name is Juice.
Sorry, Hitomi, if you want to help a bit for that.
そう、今韓国のチームに所属してるって感じなんですか？
はい、韓国のチームと、
はい。
すごい人たちが集まったチームに所属してます。
なるほど。
はい。
Is that like kind of the mixed team, like Korea and some other Asian people in there? Then he belonged to that team.
Okay, so is there going to be only... okay, so at the moment, but for the Paris Olympic, is there going to be a Japanese team, or is it going to be an Asian team?
Paris Olympics enjoying one people.
Like team?
And one and USA is one. It's like...
okay.
So
one country. So one person per country?
Yes, it's too hard.
Oh, wow. And for yourself, so you're going to compete to be that one person for the Olympics?
そう、パリではその一人チームじゃなくて国から一人が選ばれていってそれぞれが戦うって感じになるんですか？
そうですね。
Wow.
So each country one person go and they kind of compete each other.
Wow. Okay. Well, we wish you the best. We will be with you until 2024. Tell me a bit what inspires you, or who inspires you?
Of course, I'm inspired by Kaku, BBoy Kaku.
And we'll talk about Kaku. Kaku is your coach, yeah?
Yeah, he's my teacher.
He's your teacher, yeah. Is he a good teacher?
Yes, of course.
Why is he a good teacher?
It's a very kind person, and it is fun to be together.
Yeah.
Yes.
And let's talk a bit about the competition. So I think you were saying that before COVID, before all this madness, you were doing competition every week?
毎週イベントがありますかってことです。
そうですね。コロナの前とかは毎週行ってましたかって。
まあ、そうですね。毎週行ってました。
毎週行ってた。So before COVID, he went to like every week go to competition.
And what are the big milestone for him until the Olympics? What are the big competition he needs to go before the Olympics?
Milestone means like some goal before Olympics?
Yes, yes.
うん、オリンピックの前とかに何かこう自分の中でゴールとかありましたかっていう。
レッドブル BC1 っていう大会があるんですけど、
レッドブル BC1。ああ、はい。
そのレッドブルのワールドカップで優勝することがまず一つも目標で、それがあと2年後にあるんですけど、そこで。
2年後。
はい。
2年後ってことは2023年ってことですか？
そうですね。15歳以上なんですけど、
うんうん。
出れる年が多分2023年ぐらいになるかなと思うので。
わかりました。After 2 years, there is a competition, Red Bull BC1. Then he wanna be the champion in there.
Yeah.
That is his like goal before Olympics.
He did in 2019. He was in I think he was in France in Bordeaux, and he came second with the Japanese team. That was the Pessac Battle Arena.
2019年のなんか大会で、
はい。
Yeah.
賞を取りました。
So, who are the best in the world in breakdancing?
What is the question? Oli, can you say again, please?
Who are the best people in the world? Who are the best countries in the world in breakdancing? Is it?
My best is my teacher, BBoy Tsukki.
Okay, but is it Japan, or in the lead board, is it Japan or is it Russia? I think Russia is pretty good in breakdancing.
Yeah, it's like Russia and USA and China is like very so many people.
Yeah. How is France? Are the Frenchies good or not?
Yeah, French is good too.
Oh, good. Oh, just wanted to ask. Before I ask you the last question, Craig, would you mind just showing a bit of Tsukki's ability, art, and talent? Thanks. That's pretty cool. I don't know about you, but I find that pretty cool. I'm so inspired by you. Final question. I wanted to ask you about your dreams. If you project, and I know it's hard when you're 14 years old, but if you project yourself in 10 years' time, where do you see yourself?
将来どうなりたいかってことですよね。
そうですね。
日本語でいいですか？
どうぞ。
まあ、いろんなところに、海外で、いろんな友達を作って、そこで、いろんな機会を作って、で、ダンスでいろんなことを仕事をして、それで生活したいと思います。
じゃあ将来は海外に住みたいって感じ？
いや、日本に住んで、それで、いろんな国回って。
住みながらいろんな国回ってみたいな。So he wanna go like kind of traveling a lot of country and wanna make a lot of friends like through the dancing, and also he wanna do the job as dancer as well.
Nice. Well, you have us as a friend, Tsukki. So we wish you the very best. You're so inspiring. So thank you. I know you're going to school, very soon. Can you stay with us? Can you stay with us a little bit? Because we're going to have a second part and we want to talk a bit about other stuff. Is that okay? Or when you have to leave, you can leave.
もう学校に行かなきゃいけない時間ですか？
今日テストなんです。
テストなんだ。じゃあもうすぐ行かなきゃいけない感じですか？
はい。
わかりました。So he has tests now, so he need to go soon.
Oh, okay.
He
No
lives
problem.
in.
Tsukki,
Sorry.
Alligator, thank you so much. And we'll see you soon, yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks, White.
Thanks so much.
Bye. All right. After that, we're going to go to see our friend Zedyn, or Z. How are you, Z?
Good, thank you.
Hey. So Z, before we have a chat, we're going to ask the magician Craig to show a little bit of something about you and that's going to be the intro to have our discussion. Okay, so for people who don't know, Z is a skateboarder. So, but this ramp is pretty cool, and we're gonna talk about this ramp a bit later. So, skateboarder from Wanaka, South Island in New Zealand. You're 13 years old.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, and you took a day off to be on Talent Punk today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Tell us a bit, how long have you been skateboarding?
I have been skateboarding since I was 6 years old.
Okay.
It's about 7 years, isn't it?
Yep. And you do as well a bit of snowboarding as well, yeah?
Only a wee bit.
Yeah. And I think you and Valentino met at some times.
Yeah, at the junior nationals.
Yeah.
Of Cadrona once.
Okay. So you chose skateboarding and he chose snowboarding. How funny is that? And by the way, I didn't know when I contacted you both that you knew each other, but it said that world in this part of the world is very knows each other. Tell me a bit, why skateboarding? Why did you focus on skateboarding and not snowboarding or surfing? Because you do surfing as well.
Sometimes. But I think it's just because I started snowboarding in the winter and summer came around and I couldn't do it anymore. So I started skateboarding. Yeah. And I just found it to be a lot easier to get to. And it was just so much fun. Okay. So just a practical things to do. Yes. And do you remember your first day on a board? Well, was it skateboarding or was it snowboarding? It was snowboarding. Skateboarding? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, snowboarding, you say? Snowboarding. Snowboarding. Yeah. And then, so when you went on skateboard, what happened? I fell a lot at first, but it just became a lot easier to. It's just like a mode of transport. It was. Oh, yeah. Because everything was so much like nicer. It felt. Yeah, you can go to school with it. You can go to the grocery store. You can see your friends. Yeah, it's. Yeah. What type of board did you start with? This just a complete skateboard that you get from a shop. Yeah. Pretty cheap. Is that like a trick board, or is that did you try your luck with longboard, or did you? Oh no, I started off with a trick board. Trick board, yeah, but not the cruiser or not the longboard. Nah. Oh, nah. Oh, I can see your face. Nah. Why not? I don't know. I think I do longboard, the cruiser. Yeah, I think the trick aspect was a lot more. I don't know. It's just I was drawn to that a lot more. Yeah.
Tell us a bit, like I asked Tsukki, about your routine and how you can manage between school and we'll talk about the competition, but so school, your training, and your ramp, and that ramp we see that. Do you want to talk about the ramp first?
Sure. Do you want to go see it?
Please. Do you want to take us? Yes. Because I think your parents built that ramp for you, yeah?
Yes, they did. It's
Oh
just
my God.
outside.
So tell us about it. That's okay. Do you want to show us? Can you show us? Can you turn your camera?
So I can.
Look at
Right
this
there.
blue sky. How's the weather is beautiful. So we can see the ramp in the background. Oh my God. Yes. Cool.
Yeah. It's massive. It's can you hear me yet?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's 14 foot high.
Yeah.
It is was originally built for the big day out in Auckland.
Yeah.
And it was left in sand for about 7 years, I think.
Yeah.
And then we got the chance to ship it down and rebuild it. So we did.
Wow.
There's a documentary on that.
Oh, is that?
On the build.
Well, a bit later, can you, when we finish our conversation, if you have, if you want to share the link in the chat, that would be great for us to, to check it out. But so you've got your ramp, massive ramp. I think what you and the routine, so the training. What's your weekly routine? So tell us a typical day.
Okay, I wake up at around 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
I get ready for school. I go to school. I get bike home. I get home around 3:30, and then I skate till sundown, which is about 10 o'clock to 10:30.
Okay. Wow. Pretty
And
long
then
time. Yeah.
On the weekend, I'll skate from 9 o'clock till sundown.
Yeah. Mainly the ramp, or you do as well the ball?
Sometimes the bowl.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
depending on what competition I have next.
Yeah. Okay. Can you describe the ball for our audience and people who don't know what is a ball? A ramp is that big thing, and the ball is.
It's like I guess you could call it like a dinner bowl. It's just
Yeah.
like a ramp with corners.
So competition. So you're doing a bit of competition. What I've seen you have in comment as well, and is the air time. It's the hang time, what we call in basketball, but the time you are in the air. I think with Valentino as well. You guys are, when you do that ramp and you kind of jump in the air. So I think you had in the latest competition in Mount Maunganui, is that Maunganui?
Mount Maunganui, yeah.
Maunganui. It was a ramp, and you were prized for the highest air time. Is that?
Yeah, highest air. It was around 8 foot high.
Wow. And you've done as well another competition in North Island called the Ball Jam. Can you tell us a bit about that as well?
Oh yeah, so that's pretty much the biggest competition in New Zealand. It's it's just everyone goes there. Pretty much you get a lot of street cred for winning it.
Nice. And you finished first.
First.
Yeah. Of under 16, is that?
Yeah.
Cool. Who inspires you?
I have a lot of people. So like from snowboarding.
Yeah.
Like Yuki Kadono. And Bucky Lessick from skateboarding.
Yeah.
He skates the ramps.
Yeah.
And Pedro Barros, he goes the highest.
Oh, wow. And Danny Way, I think, as well.
Yes, yeah, Danny Way.
There is one thing we discuss, and it's about the coaching and the training element. So what you were saying to me when we discuss, I say, Tsukki's got a coach for breakdancing, but you say that only in this part of the world, only in Japan, you can get coach for, it's pretty recurrent, but not not very much for, you know, in New Zealand. Is that, can you?
Yeah, so skateboarding has just become kind of like a competitive sport where you get coaches.
Yeah.
Because before the Olympics was announced, you didn't really have coaches in skateboarding.
Yeah.
You just skated with your friends to get better.
Yeah.
But now it's becoming more of a normal thing to have. But you just can't really find them at the moment.
So who trained you, yourself, or do you have?
I usually just skate with my friends, and then I progress a lot doing that. But mostly I skate by myself.
Oh, you were saying that you like to compete and train with people who are better than you, because that's how you learn new stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
What's next for you? Competitions? What's the big milestone? The big goal?
Well, is I want to go compete in America, but with COVID-19, can't really do that at the moment. So I think I'll just keep on doing the New Zealand circuit until I can travel overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And final thing, and I think I'll ask you some question to Valentino about sponsors. So how do you guys travel across if you go overseas, or if you go, you know, compete nationally? Who's paying for that? Are you paying for that, or can you get some sponsor? How do you get sponsor?
Yeah, so usually to get a sponsor, they approach me through Instagram.
Oh, okay.
And they sometimes they might pay for your flights or accommodation.
Yeah.
For skateboarding. I don't know about snowboarding, but they can get you places.
Cool. You have to tell me how you do, and to get sponsor, contacted you on Instagram. If they want to contact us at Talent Punk, we'll welcome them. Thank you so much, Zedyn. We'll see you just a bit later in the second part. Stay with us. Cool.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Mr. Valentino.
How's it going?
Good. Your phone is fixed. What did you do? Did you put some stickers?
I moved the screen.
Oh, did you?
I just shifted the screen to the side a little bit.
So I have to say to everyone, you're still in Lax in Switzerland. Is now 11:30 p.m. at night. Thank you so much for staying awake. But
all
you're
good.
15 years old, so at 15, I think 11:30 is all good. Yeah, it's a reasonable time.
Yeah,
so you're a snowboarder. Originally, you're from Perisher in New South Wales. You've been described as a champion sensation, Aussie sensation, and spectacular. And we'll see that a bit later why. Hey, tell us a bit about growing in Perisher. What is it like to grow up in the mountain in New South Wales?
Yeah, well, I didn't live in Perisher, but I was there most of the whole winter Australian season.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just wake up, go snowboarding, and I just loved it ever since I started, which I was 3.
3. My God.
Yeah.
Do you remember that day, or is it pretty...
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
Okay.
No.
And is it like Z, like snowboarding was just convenient because you have the snow and that it is what you do, or who pushed you to go a bit further?
Well, I just loved it when I started it, and I was loving it since then, and I never really thought about doing anything else.
Because you're pretty good surfer as well. I've seen some footage. You're pretty skilled.
Thanks.
No, you're welcome. So is that what's the sensation of difference between surfing and between snowboarding? Do you find the same kind of feeling on it, or the same technically? Is it different, or what's?
There are similarities and differences for sure. The water's a lot softer.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah, but if it's pretty slushy on the snow, it can feel really similar. Like you can do big slashes on half pipe walls, and it's similar to doing a slash on a wave. So yeah, yeah, it's pretty similar.
Cool. What has been your training and routine to build up to your current level?
Basically, I just wake up at whatever time I wake up. I don't really, it changes a lot depending on the circumstances. But yeah, just wake up, have brekkie, have a shower, get ready, and go ride, and just try and work on stuff, work on my technique so I can progress to the bigger tricks safely, or sometimes just ride with friends like Zedyn was saying before. Just have fun and push your friends while they push you to progress.
When did you start competition? When did you start to, and I mean, when did you start to know that you were pretty good at what you were doing?
That's a hard one. I might have been 7 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I started doing small races in Australia when I was pretty young, maybe 5 or 6. And then I started winning those, and then we started traveling overseas, and I guess I just kept winning comps. So I started realizing that this could be my future, and it's pretty awesome. I get to do what I love every day as a job.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. Your specialty is a half pipe, so it's kind of the ramp, the same. Well, we'll
similar. Similar.
Yeah. Why a half pipe? Did you always do a half pipe, or is there other stuff that?
I've always done. Like when I was young, I was doing all disciplines, racing, like the different types of races, like GS and normal slalom, and one's a bit tighter turns than the other, and then border cross, which is like 4 people at the same time.
Oh yeah,
slope style, big air, half pipe. So I started just doing them all, and then the last couple of years I've kind of gone into more just slope style, big air, and half pipe. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing that.
Nice. Yeah. Before we talk about lax, Craig, can you just show something, because that's a nice intro to talk about recently what happened.
He's currently sitting out there in the top 4, so it looks like he's got a jetpack indeed. The guy is going absolutely huge. Are you kidding me? Frontside air into the frontside line, huge. Valentino, Victor Valentino to get it next. And to finish off the 12. And 14! Oh, you kidding me?
Oh my god! What just happened? What? Dude!
I love it.
Yeah.
Expression and how surprised you are. What was happening in your head?
I was pretty happy.
Yeah.
Well, that was the first time that I'd ever landed the last trick of that run properly.
Nice. Yeah.
So I was just like, I went into that run and I was already sitting in a good place to get into finals. So I just wanted to have fun on that run and kind of send it, go for it. And then it all worked out, and I got to the bottom on my feet with all the tricks done, and I was like, damn, that was pretty fun.
It's awesome. It's just precious, this moment. There's a lot of humility and a lot of I love it. You finished first in, we have to say it's your first World Cup in Laos. You finished first in the semis with the biggest air time, biggest highest jump. And you finished 8th total in the finals, yeah, for the first World Cup.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice. Who inspires you? I know the name. I know you follow him on Insta, but who is your competitor now?
Do you want to take his word? Do you want to take his name out of my mouth? You know who I'm gonna say.
Is it Scotty?
Yeah. He's awesome to watch.
Yeah, Scotty James, who's what rank he is in the world?
He's won the Crystal Globe a couple times, which is like the top rank at the end of the season in like the FIS World Cup kind of things. So right now he would be in 2nd overall in the world.
Yeah. Why are you inspired by him?
Well, because he's another Aussie.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And he's managed to become one of the best snowboarders in the world, being from a place with not a heap of snow and not the best opportunity, but he's made it work through the circumstances, which is super inspiring.
So what happened with the Aussies and being good at winter, winter skiing or kind of that snowboarding? Is there a facility or kind of a process in Australia that helps a young snowboarder like you, or is it pretty hard? What's happening? Do you have a coach? We were talking. Sorry, you answer, and I've got
Well, I think what it is we don't have a heap of snow at home, so when we have really good opportunities for training, we don't take it for granted. But maybe someone with snow in their backyard that could snowboard all the time if they wanted might not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we just we want what we don't get more.
Yeah.
I don't know if that made sense, but
no, and I think there's a difference from a guy a competitor lives in Switzerland all his life and has been kind of in the snow in his life, and someone who's it's a bit different. About sponsor and coaching, we were talking about that because you travel around the world, so you're in Lax, but you're on a program as well, and that's with the Australian Olympics. Is that with the team?
Yeah, well, they help us for sure. We don't really have enough people to have a proper team.
Yeah. Okay.
Like some other countries do. So, but yeah, it's just me and my coach, and we see some of the other Aussie guys and girls around the world, but we're just not a together team, but it's all right.
So what's next for you? You were talking about World Cup in Aspen. When is that?
Yeah, there's
next week.
There's the World Championships and a World Cup after that. And that is in like 2 weeks, I think.
Are you're going there?
Yeah.
Nice. We'll follow you there. And then Beijing.
No, that's not happening.
Oh, it's not?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that was it was supposed to happen, but it got cancelled a little while back.
Of the 2022 Olympics or the Winter Olympics? Yeah.
Oh, the Winter Olympics is still happening, but there was a World Cup that was supposed to happen there this year that got cancelled. No. But hopefully by next year in the Olympics, it'll all be.
So where is that? Is it in Beijing?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. Before I before we move on, I just want to say thank you or shout out to Pablo Guida at Pad Visions as well, for the footage and the thing. So I would say a shout out. So thanks, Pablo, for your help.
Yeah.
You stay with us?
Pardon?
You're staying with us?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Brandi.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Is my video here?
Yes.
Okay.
How are you? Good morning.
Awesome.
Oh no, good afternoon.
I'm pretty good.
Good
No,
evening.
yeah, it's afternoon. It's after work for me here. It's like 5:30 or something like that here. But yeah, I'm pretty good.
Thank you
Close
for
to
being
the weekend.
patient. So you're in the US, you're from York in Pennsylvania, singer-songwriter. You're a professional writer as well, and you are a teacher.
Yes, indeed.
And you do all of that. So
all of it every day, pretty much. Well, 5 days a week at least.
So I wanted to end the interviews with you because we're gonna listen to you afterwards. We've got a video on one of your video clip that was the promo. So we want to hear a bit more about you, and the intro as well was Happier, one of your song as well.
Yes.
So tell us about you. Where did you grow up? When did you start singing?
So I grew up here, but it's not like I've never left. I do spend a decent amount of time traveling and playing different places and seeing different places. I'm actually supposed to be moving away from here this summer, but I'm not talking too much about it until it happens. Don't want to throw off the universe or anything.
Yeah.
But I started singing kind of as soon as I could talk. And I remember I would have babysitters and stuff, and I couldn't write yet. And I would tell them the words to these songs, and they would write them down for me. And then when my parents would come home, I would perform the songs for them, even before I could read. But I never really had any professional training or anything. It was always just something that was an instinct for me. And I don't think that if I decided to quit music, I don't think I would ever quit writing songs. I would still do it all the time, I believe. I would say I'm not a great guitar player. I didn't start that until I was 16, and I taught myself. But singing, songwriting, and just kind of performing and being wacky and creative was definitely just as long as I can remember thing.
What's the music genre? What would you qualify? Is it alternative rock, pop rock?
I would definitely say alternative rock.
Yeah,
that's probably a good way to group it. We have some stuff that's grungier. We have stuff that's kind of dream poppy. I have some stuff coming out soon that's more just almost dark pop. But then I have some straight rock and roll too. So alternative rock is probably a good way to describe it.
Tell us about your songs. What are the theme? What are they about?
A lot of them are so I know a lot of songs. A lot of them are typical songs, or love songs, or let's go to the club, or that type of stuff. But I usually write about very a lot of it is mental health, and also just kind of stresses and pressures of a lot of them I wrote about this pressure. I don't know. It might be a little bit, I think it is a little bit different in other countries. So this is really cool. I like to see how people's lives differ in different countries. But in America, it's the first thing someone asks you is what's your job? Or what do you go to school for? What's your degree in? And a lot of it's about that pressure to be you're supposed to, be perfect, or have the perfect job or whatever. And a lot of it is kind of rebelling against that, because I think that kind of ruined a lot of my life. I think I'd be a lot farther in music if I didn't take the route of college and working and all that stuff. So a lot of it is about that. I have songs about animal rights. I have songs about women standing up for us, and it's just a lot of everyday real stuff that people don't typically talk about, or maybe not enough, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I read something about a comment about you was Brandi uses music as a positive outlet for her inner child and encourages anyone listening to feel happy, free, and a little rebellious. I like that. That's why you're on the show, yeah?
Wait, what did you say the last sentence? Sorry.
That's why you're on the show, rebellious, the talent, the punk side.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, with rebellious, I'm really excited to be on with a snowboarder and skateboarder because, yes, well, I don't know, skateboarding is seen as rebellious, but I skateboard, I snowboard, and I surf. I'm really, really, really bad at snowboarding and surfing. I can like stand up and like ride. That's about it. Skateboarding is next to music is like my favorite hobby. So I love that. I also suck at it a lot, but I've been doing it since I was like 7 or something. So
please follow Brandi's Instagram and you'll see her doing some tricks and sometimes.
Oh, you're bad. It's embarrassing. You don't want to see that, but like
no, everywhere you go,
it brings me a lot of joy though. Like skateboarding brings me immense joy. I'm horrible, but like yesterday I dropped in on like, I think it was a 6-foot ramp and I was like, oh my gosh, I did this amazing thing. And it really is not that good for someone who has a 14-foot ramp in his backyard. So,
well, there you are. You might have the invitation from Z to come to New Zealand and you can do a show there and use his ramp.
I would love that. I would love to see both of them compete. They're amazing. It's awesome.
You know, Talent Punk, it's all about putting people together. So you guys can organize yourself afterwards. But yeah, and we can see you often with your guitar and on the board, which is quite fun. Tell me, what inspires you or who inspires you?
So what inspires me is like, I don't know, like I'm a very soulful person and I'm pretty honest, and I feel like that's not like, and I'm not saying it in like, oh, I'm special way or anything, but it's just kind of like my emotions. I have a lot of them and I kind of like that outlet and being able to like move someone, or like I've had so many people say things like, you know, you said this thing in this song and I didn't know anyone else felt like that. And like, now I feel less alone. Like that type of stuff really inspires me, like having these struggles and being able to like scream them out loud, like I bottle them up all the time.
My phone's overheating.
Your phone's overheating?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I'll put him on mute.
Wait, what happened?
He wasn't on mute, that's why.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sorry, Brandi.
Yeah, it's fine. But basically being able to like scream out all these like emotions and things that I'm having like on stage is great. And then my inspiration, I always have a really hard time with this question because it's so many people. And like, I know a lot of people have like that one person that they look up to, but mine is so all over the place. It's like Kesha, who's like a pop star. And like, when I was little, it was like Avril Lavigne, which like people totally joke about now because like, they're like, oh, you skateboard and you play guitar, you like Avril Lavigne. I'm like, no, I don't even listen to Avril Lavigne anymore. But then it's like Grace Potter and like Johnny Cash and like Primus is one of my favorite things, and like Rage Against the Machine, and like just Noah Cyrus is another one. It's a lot of people, I guess, that put their emotions out on the line, say things that not a lot of other people would say, do things their own way, and also like it really helps for me if you don't come from a background of like a lot of money or like your parents are actors or like something like that. Cause like with me, like, you know, I'm kind of working from like nothing to get like where I am. And like, so it's inspiring to see other people that do that rather than they're like born into a famous family or, you know, something like that. Cause there's a lot of that in Hollywood and I don't know. Yeah.
You have a band, so Brandi LM and the Bottom Shelf. Do you want to talk a bit about your band and what stage you are on your solo career, but as well with the band career, and what's next for you guys?
So basically, the band and the solo thing are like one in a way. Like, so I play like acoustic solo shows all the time. Like I do a solo stuff all the time, but my band will come and like the original songs that I have by myself, they really bring those to life. And I think at this point I've had like 13 or so band members, and like if any of them are watching, like I love you all dearly. Like I'm glad that you've been in my band. I don't like have bad blood with my band members or anything like that. I mean, maybe like one, but it's always just been a thing where, you know, like I have my songs, people come in and they learn them, they add their own like unique twist to them, and I love it. But kind of Brandi LM and the Bottom Shelf will go on forever as long as I'm in the band. If I kick myself out, then I'm not sure it's going to continue to work. But
it's going to be the Bottom Shelf.
But yeah, it's just going to be the Bottom Shelf at that point. I don't see that happening, but like I don't think the band will ever go away, because the band is just my solo project with extra instruments.
Yeah.
So next steps, I'm currently recording 2 different songs, going to be putting out 2 more music videos. Since quarantine started, I put out 2 music videos, released 3 songs. One of the music videos and songs I recorded completely by myself, shot the video by myself, edited everything by myself. So that was cool. Most of the time, though, I have help from people, and I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, so we're working on 2 new singles and 2 new videos, actually.
Nice.
And one of them, I don't think my current band has any idea I'm doing, because I did it with other musicians. Actually, some people that used to play in my band. And then the other one is like my current band is working together to do this. So,
and that's going to be available on Spotify?
Yeah, so both of these will be available on Spotify, and we have a lot of stuff on there already. So it's Brandi LM and the Bottom Shelf. So we're on all streaming platforms. A few of my friends actually made like skate videos and like dance videos to my music. So like that stuff's really cool. Like I love when people do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch Not a Soul. Can you, before we do that, can you tell us a bit about this song and what's the theme in that song?
Absolutely. So Not a Soul, it's kind of about not telling a soul your business. So I noticed that like I would get ideas and like post them on Facebook, and a lot of people do this, or like whatever, like in years past, or like turn to a lot of people and like ask them questions like, should I do this? Should I do that? And then I realized like there has to be some like mystery, and like there's a lot of things that I'm working on that I'm not really telling people, where I'm trying to like get my life together and then be able to show a final product instead of just posting every little thing online, like every little thing that I'm working on. And I think that's just important. It's basically like no one has to know what you're working on or what you're going through. And I think that like with social media, everyone is super, super open about that. But in a way, it's like about this privacy. And then there's a line about like, I'm digging me a new one. And it's almost about like tunneling underground to like dig yourself out of like society's mold that it wants for you. Do your own thing and don't say anything about it. Just keep going. Like it's not anyone else's decision. It's yours, essentially.
Thank you, Brandi. You stay with us. And Craig, if you want to, we've got a song as a break, and we'll go to the second part.
Well, the rabbits are lying down, their eyes fixed on mine. They've got a message, they're not running, scared to hide. Well, the pimples are spinning around, head backwards as the sack is on, but I won't let the world die in darkness. So I'm taking me a new one. Oh, I'm taking me a new one. Oh, I'm taking me a new one. And now the soul's gonna know about it. Oh, I'm taking me a new one. Oh, I'm taking me a new one. Oh, I'm taking me a new one. And now the soul's gonna know about it. Too long, too many days gone, talking about a master plan. It was all buzz, I gotta move on. And now the soul's gonna know about it. And now the soul's gonna know about it. And now the soul's gonna know about it. And now the soul's gonna know about it.
Nice.
Thank you.
I like the.
Am I muted or am I good?
No, it's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not muted.
No, you're not muted. And Valentino, you can unmute yourself, and Zedyn as well. And so second part. I want to explore a bit more what's happening in your head. Because for me, talent is not about skills, knowledge, and experience. I think that is the artifacts around what really, really, really drives you. And I think talent is more of something recurring, a pattern. It's a pattern of thoughts that comes all the time and acts you and helps you to behave. Zedyn, you said, I get a big adrenaline rush every time I roll down something really big. Can you take us through, and the other guests as well, but let's start with you. What's happening in there when you're on the top of the ramp, and at that moment, what's the build up in your head? What are you thinking about? And then
I just think about landing my trick every time. It's just landing my trick is all that goes through my head.
Yeah.
I don't think about anything else.
And is that, so you are rehearsing how it's gonna happen in your head?
Sometimes, depending on how much I want to land it. Sometimes if I want to land it too much, I'll just drop in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and go for it.
Okay. What about you, Brandi?
Like, so before I do like a live performance, I guess, right?
Just when you're gonna go live, what's happening? Just in that.
It's usually like I have in my general life, I have a really hard time being in the moment. My brain is all over the place, but like when I'm about to sing or play live, like that's like one of the only times that I'm like just thinking about that. And I guess I don't know, I get really excited. There's like a little bit of nerves, and like every time I hit a note that I know is going to be like a little bit harder for me, or like or I'm just playing something and I'm worried about like my fingers on the guitar, there's always that feeling of like, am I going to hit it? Like, am I going to like, or like, am I going to hit this note wrong or right or whatever? And like, if I do, it's just like this, I don't know, it's a really great, rewarding feeling. Definitely like an adrenaline rush for sure.
How is it, adrenaline rush, physically? What is it, tingling? How does it manifest?
Yeah, I guess I just feel kind of like warm and like energized. And also I notice like if there's a lot of times where I play shows where I'm wearing like heels or I'm in the freezing cold or something like that, and like I'll be like in pain, and as soon as I start playing, it goes away. But then as soon as I stop playing, I feel everything and I'm like, oh my gosh, get me out of here. So it almost like numbs things. Yeah. And I'm like only feeling like the music, I guess.
What about you, Valentino?
Yeah. What they said, I agree with, and I feel pretty similar. Like, when you drop in for a run, especially in a competition, everything gets blocked out except what you're doing. And when I'm going to try a new trick or like something that's a bit scary, I'll just try and focus on it as much as I can and focus on all the little things that make the big trick work out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely an adrenaline rush, and I feel it in my stomach a lot, actually. Yeah. I guess that's probably part of the nerves, but yeah, it's a pretty insane feeling.
At your level, is there from your coach, is that a big part, the mental preparation for any big competition?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you do anything special? Is there, I don't know, yoga, meditation, or are you
rituals?
You what? Rituals? Oh, tell us
rituals.
About that.
Nah.
No? Okay.
Nah, I don't really have any big ones, but
do you wear the same socks? Do you wear the same t-shirt?
No.
Your favorite t-shirt? No?
Nah. I probably should. I should start doing something like that.
So you don't have anything special or like something a mimic or like something you do before a competition?
I'll usually listen to some music.
Oh, okay.
Try and get hyped on some music for sure.
What are you listening to?
I like rock, metal, and rap.
Rock, metal, and rap. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like Brandi's music?
Yeah. It's pretty sick.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask you something. Can you, when I did the interview with you, what is the Ligma brand?
Oh,
sorry.
No, let's not go there.
Oh, okay.
No, that's not a good idea.
Was it a long time ago?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. It's a pretty childish joke.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not gonna say anything about that.
So you're listening to what is Metallica's Led Zeppelin, Faith?
Yeah, for sure. Exactly.
And now Brandi LM and the Bottom Shelf.
Yeah.
Your next big competition.
No, listen to Gutter Star. It's a good that one is a good hype one.
Yeah, Gutter Star.
Good hype song. All right.
It's kind of it's kind of a cool stuff. And are you eating burritos before your big day? Because I know it's one of your preferred food, no?
I usually eat steak, actually.
Oh, meat.
If I can get some protein into me,
yeah,
it can help me feel a little bit better sometimes. Yeah, I feel like a good steak and salad dinner before a competition's never really let me down.
Zedyn, do you have any superstitious thing or anything you do before a compete?
Not really. I listen to music too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are like wearing the same socks, or old socks? You don't wash them, you wear them competition. The knee pad. You've got the same knee pad all the time?
Oh yeah, but that's mostly for protection, just in case I fall.
Yeah, but they're pretty ripped, no?
Oh yeah, I have had like 30 pairs of knee pads in the time I've skated vert, so they change a lot every 3 months.
Now, I want to, just to finish with, and if there are some questions from the audience, please drop them now. But how do you juggle between, and we talked about that, but how do you juggle between priorities? And I'll start with you, Brandi, but you've got a full-time job and you do full-time gigs, and how do you know what, I saw as well, you were kind of puzzling yourself or asking yourself, when am I going to go, full-time music, or what's the transition there?
So yeah, that's something that I struggle with constantly. It's been something that I don't think I've gone a single day without calling a friend or family member or something and saying, like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to work anymore. I just want to do music, but I'm scared. There was a time where I was just doing music, and I was okay. Like I was like supporting myself, but I was like, nah, I want to save up more money. And then like I got another job, and now I'm really glad that I had it, because when COVID happened, you know, my gigs were really, really like seldom. But I don't know, I struggle, to be honest. I do struggle a lot with it, because I love my job. I work with children, and I work with a lot of the children have like special needs, so it's like really rewarding. I wish I could split myself in half, to be honest. But for me, I think it would just be like, once I move, which I'm not talking too much about, but once I move to a new location and the restrictions of COVID keep getting less and less, my job, like the job that I'm getting there with teaching, is going to be semi more part-time than what I'm doing here, and it will be something that I could kind of phase out. So I think it'll be a thing where like I work when I feel that I need to, or maybe I don't have as many gigs that week, but I hope to get to a point where like I just don't need to work. Like I'm making more money just doing music than I am teaching. And I think it's possible, and I think the only reason it hasn't happened yet is because I haven't quit my job during a good time, not COVID time, but like just totally quit my job and just went full in. And that's something I regret. Like these two are like, it's awesome. Like I'm so happy to be talking to people that are younger and like doing what they love, because I always knew what I wanted to do, and I always felt very pressured to go to college, which I didn't want to do, to work, which I didn't want to do. Like I'm a really hard worker, but I wanted to be working on my art, not for someone else. So like for these two, like I think it's great what they're doing right now, and balancing it is really hard. Like I get up at like 5 in the morning and I'll play and I'll write or whatever. Then I go work my full-time job. Then I usually feel pretty exhausted after work. And then a lot of times I'm either recording in a studio, having band practice, trying to practice by myself while I'm like half asleep. And then a lot of nights I will just wear myself out. So I'll go to the skate park for a long time, or I'll go to the gym. And when I'm like skating or I'm at the gym, is a lot of times where like when my body's moving, my mind moves, and I'll come up with like lyrics and ideas for videos. And then weekends, I have a little bit more time to actually like not have it be so rushed. But yeah, I miss, honestly, like when I didn't have my job, I got so much done in music, like when the schools were shut down for COVID. And so I'm hoping that like this summer, when I'm not in school, like I can just fully focus on that, because it is hard to balance for sure.
Thank you. Z, how do you juggle with priorities?
I don't really need to yet. I just skate.
Well, yeah, but between school, I know you've got schoolwork as well, probably homework, and
only a little bit. I usually just do schoolwork at the homework at lunch.
Oh, okay.
So
you're pretty organized now.
Yeah.
Cool. Valentino?
I do like homeschool distance education kind of stuff. So yeah. And I just ride. I ride whenever I can, and then when I'm not riding, I do school.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think we are now coming to the end of our show. So is youth a dream or a form of chemical madness? Well, pretty much, I think so. When I see you, definitely. But to us parents, because I've got, 2 kids. So to us parents out there, all the world's advice can be distilled in 2 simple rules. Pay attention to what your children are fascinated by, and praise them for their efforts. It's not from me, it's from a guy called Daniel Coyle, and he wrote a book called The Talent Code, which is an awesome book. Before we finish with Brandi's music and with Nevada, I love Nevada. Thank you so much to our guest, Brandi Tsukki, who's now at school, Zedyn and Valentino. From the bottom of my heart and Talent Punk, we wish you plenty of success. Keep loving life. For me and for us, you are so inspiring. I'd like as well to thank Hitomi for the translation. Thank you to my team, Karen, Joe, and Craig. Big up to you. To the audience, thank you. Ubuntu, you know that we are thanks to you. So keep tuning in, keep following us on Insta and Facebook. And yes, and Brandi will close with you and your song Nevada. See you next month. And next month we'll go high in the sky.